Have you ever taken a gift back?
Thank you. Surely did. Give back my shit.
Whoa, wait a minute.
I took a gift back. I did. I ain't gonna lie, I did.
Why you give it back? Oh, you went to his place and got it?
No, I said give me back my shit.
You said it just like that too, did
Give
you?
me back my shit.
What'd he say?
He gave it back.
The guy asked you for his ish back. You giving it back?
My first date that I just went on recently, it came with a crocodile Kelly. Like, I wasn't even I was at dinner. My security guard walked in with a big orange box. I'm like, ooh, that's for me. Surprise.
Drake just can't catch a break. Man's jumping from one internet mess to another like it's his full-time job. First, he got cooked in that rap beef that went way too deep. And let's be real, the internet already crowned Kendrick the winner. No debating that. Now, just when it looked like Drake was cooling off, dropping that fresh album with Party Next Door and trying to stay low-key, boom! He's dragged right back into the chaos. And this time, it's Beyonce's internet that's tearing him up. All thanks to Young Miami, or should we say, Isha. Yeah, Isha hit up a podcast and dropped some wild tea, straight up exposing how Drake be moving like a full-on fan, trying to impress just to get a shot with her.
And it gets messier. Drake ain't here for none of it and clap back hard. He's basically saying she had no business putting his name in her mouth like that. 'Cause seriously, why is she even talking about him like that? After going radio silent post-Kendrick drama, Drake's now caught up in Aisha's mouth and the internet won't let it slide. Let's break this whole thing down. 'Cause trust, it's deeper than you think. You already know how wild this is. And yeah, we all seen it coming. Ever since Kendrick snagged that Grammy for his diss track, the tide shifted. A bunch of celebs started backing him. And Drake, he been laying low, even with that new album out.
But here comes Young Miami stirring up the pot on the Club Shay Shay podcast. Everything was cool until Drake's name popped up. And then the convo took a whole new turn.
Young Miami started spilling on that Hollywood tricking lifestyle. She said dudes out here dropping stacks on the first date just to get a chance. And she's not just watching from the sidelines either. Sis even said she'd buy a man a whole car just so he can trick harder. What? But the real jaw-dropper? She casually mentioned how she once hit up a celeb she used to date and told him to give back all the gifts she gave him. Fans been side-eyeing and trying to figure out who she's talking about.
And when they flipped the question, would she return gifts from a man? Her answer was straight up savage. Nope.
So when they asked Young Miami if she'd ever give a gift back to a man after things ended, she hit him with a bold no. Straight like that. Now, let me ask you, is it fair to ask for your gifts back after a breakup? Personally, I think a gift is a gift. Once it's given, that's that. But Isha wasn't done. She also said that in the industry, gift giving isn't just common, it's expected. According to her, getting bags, shoes, and even a car from a man is light work out in Hollywood. Like, seriously? A car as a starter gift? That's next level. I knew there was money in the game, but a whole vehicle just to say what's up? Wild. Then she threw in a little something extra. Said she wants a car for her birthday. Girl, we see the play. Aisha ain't subtle, but she sure knows how to make it known she's a high-value move. But here's the kicker. The street's been talking. A lot of people out here saying some of these female celebs don't got real talent or their own bag, just vibes and gifts. These industry girls ain't lying. Some of them really just out here getting tricked on, and Young Miami straight up confirmed it. She said brands like Dior, YSL, and all that flashy stuff, that's just basic now. Regular degular for the girls in her circle. Because the men they dealing with, they coming through with Birkins, Hermes, and all the ultra high-end flexes. And guess who showed up first on that tricking scoreboard? Yup, Drake! Young Miami didn't hold back. She said Drake's starter pack is a whole Birkin bag. Let that sink in. A starter pack. Like, imagine seeing a girl you feeling and the first thing you do is hand her a Birkin. That's a serious move. Makes you wonder if Drake got a luxury handbag plug on speed dial.
But hold up. It gets wilder. She dropped the real bomb when she said Drake gave her a Crocodile Kelly on their very first date. That's not just expensive. That's millionaire status expensive.
The internet lost it. But let's be real. Drake been singing about this kind of flex for years. And with all the talk about how much he loves the ladies, it kind of adds up, doesn't it? Like I said, this whole convo took a wild turn. And now it's time to really talk about Drake. Because with everything Young Miami just let slip, all those old rumors, yeah, they're starting to make a whole lot more sense now. So here's the deal. Young Miami claimed that Drake's got what she called groupie plans. And if you don't know what that means, let me break it down for you. A groupie is usually someone, most times a woman, who sticks around celebs, often hoping for something more than just a pic or an autograph. And it's no secret that groupies are part of the fame game, but what's catching heat is the claim that Drake is actively scouting them. Like, on purpose.
Now that's raising major eyebrows. People already side-eyeing him heavy, and this kind of talk ain't helping. Some folks even saying he's getting way too close to the edge with those old allegations still floating around. Not a good look, especially now.
Young Miami went further and said Drake once handed out Chanel bags at the strip club like they were party favors, and didn't leave alone either. She made it sound like he walked out with a crew of women like it was nothing. And let's be honest, it definitely wasn't for Bible study. And it don't help that we've all seen those viral clips. Drake gifting designer like he running a giveaway. But come on now, you really think he doing all that just because? Please. Word is, he chooses who gets the bags, then follows it up with a little private time. And even if he ain't the only one out here playing that game, Young Miami exposing his blueprint, and the timing couldn't be worse.
Especially with the internet still side-eyeing him over those past rumors about younger girls. This right here just added more fire to the smoke.
Cause let's not act like all the heat around Drake just disappeared. He's still got that cloud hanging over him, especially when it comes to his past connection with Millie Bobby Brown. Fans been scratching their heads for years now, wondering why a grown man was having convos about boys and relationships with a 13-year-old. Like, what even was that? People say he's grown since then. But let's be real, that kind of bond had folks uncomfortable from the jump. And here's where things get even murkier. Cause with this whole groupie situation, the line gets real blurry. Groupies come in all ages, and not everyone hanging around the scene is grown. So when you hear about Drake allegedly handpicking girls, flying them out and handing out bags like candy, yeah, it's hard not to start asking questions. It's painting a picture, and it ain't a pretty one.
Sources behind the scenes are whispering too, saying there's truth to all this, and honestly, it sounds too detailed to just be gossip. But what do y'all think? Is it believable or not?
Back to Young Miami though. When they pressed her about her connection to Drake, she didn't hold back. Said she got mad love for him, especially since he's the one who really boosted city girls into the spotlight. But fans now side-eyeing that too, wondering if they were just part of the groupie game from the start.
I mean, she talked about getting flown out, meeting in Miami. Does that really sound like a regular friendship, or am I just reaching?
And here's where the mess really starts spiraling, because now fans digging up everything. Old clips, tweets, interviews, nothing is safe. People pulling receipts from years ago, trying to connect the dots on how deep this Drake groupie situation really goes. And it's looking like this ain't just a one-time thing. It might be a whole pattern. One video resurfaced where a girl claimed Drake flew her out, took her shopping, and then ghosted her when she started asking for more than just luxury bags. That clip been circulating fast, and fans are calling it just another example of how Drake allegedly grooms and dips. It's not just wild, it's disturbing.
Meanwhile, Young Miami sitting in the middle of the storm, acting cool like she didn't just pour gasoline on an already burning fire. But every time someone asks her more about it, she plays it coy or switches the topic. Smart? Maybe. But it's also adding fuel to all the rumors that she might have seen more behind the scenes than she's letting on.
And now, social media is divided. Some folks defending Drake, saying he's just generous and always been that way. Others are convinced he's moving real calculated, only showing love when it benefits him. With all these stories stacking up, it's getting harder and harder to ignore.
People ain't just watching now. They're investigating. Every DM, every backstage pass, every mysterious flight to Toronto, The internet's treating this like a full-blown case. And honestly, it's getting scary how much they're finding. Now here's where things get even messier. While fans are out here piecing together timelines and receipts, industry folks are starting to chime in too, and they ain't holding back. A few insiders have anonymously spilled that this whole gift and go lifestyle ain't just a Drake thing. It's apparently common in the upper levels of the music game.
One source even claimed that gifting luxury bags, flying girls out, and setting them up in hotels is practically a rite of passage for some artists. Like, that's the introduction to even being around them. And guess what? Drake's name keeps coming up as someone who helped popularize that exact playbook. Talk about being the blueprint. And then, boom, another rumor dropped. Someone who claims to have worked security at a private Drake event said there were NDAs flying left and right, and that most of the women who showed up weren't even from the city. They were flown in, styled up, and basically given don't ask, don't tell instructions. Sounds like a movie, but it's real life.
Meanwhile, fans are debating hard. Is Drake just living that celeb lifestyle, or is he seriously crossing a line behind the scenes? With all this noise, people are saying it's only a matter of time before somebody drops a full expose, maybe even another diss track, because you know in this industry, secrets don't stay buried for long.
At this point, Drake ain't just in hot water. He might be standing in boiling lava. And the internet? They're watching it all unfold like it's primetime TV.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any hotter, now the spotlight is shifting to the women caught up in all this too. The internet's not just side-eyeing Drake anymore. People are starting to question the intentions of the girls he's been linked to. Are they victims? Opportunists? Or maybe a little bit of both?
Some fans are saying, if you accept the bag, the trip, the treatment, aren't you playing the game too? But others are like, nah, the power dynamic is real. Especially when it's a global star like Drake calling the shots. That level of influence, it's not regular. And that's where the whole thing gets complicated.
Then someone dropped a thread breaking down every known Drake girl from the past decade. From IG models to upcoming artists, even influencers. Turns out there's a long list of women who suddenly went silent after being linked to him. Some deleted their socials, some vanished from the public eye altogether. Like, where did they go?
Now folks are throwing around questions like, were they paid off? Did something happen? Or was it just the pressure of being associated with someone so powerful that made them retreat? Either way, it's raising more suspicion, and fans are starting to feel like there's a bigger story underneath the surface. What's clear is that this ain't just about luxury gifts anymore. This is turning into a deep conversation about fame, power, and how some stars might be using their influence to move in ways that don't sit right.
And the craziest part? It feels like we're only scratching the surface.
And now, brace yourself, because this whole situation just took a dangerous twist. People are starting to question whether this behavior is part of something way deeper. Something that might actually be industry culture. Not just Drake, not just one or two celebs, but a whole network of powerful men who've been using money, status, and fame to move in silence for years.
Suddenly, fans are making connections between Drake and other A-list names who faced similar accusations or had way too many stories surrounding them. People are wondering, is this why nobody ever speaks up? Are these women being silenced, blackballed, or straight up paid off to disappear? And honestly, with how many stories are surfacing, can you blame them for asking?
Even more chilling, some are bringing up that industry parties and private events we always hear whispers about might not be just for fun. Allegedly, those luxury gifts and flights are part of a system that rewards silence and obedience. And if that's true, that's not just messy, it's predatory. Meanwhile, Drake's been trying to keep it business as usual, posting pics, promoting music, and acting like everything's cool. But fans ain't buying the cool act anymore. Every post is getting bombarded with comments, calling him out, asking questions, tagging blogs, demanding answers.
And then there's young Miami, still staying low, barely reacting, like she knows she said too much and now can't take it back. But the damage is done. Her little podcast moment might have pulled the curtain back on a whole system of secrets people weren't supposed to see.
At this point, it ain't just drama. It's a full-blown unraveling.
Now here's where the plot thickens even more, because fans and insiders alike are starting to wonder if this entire situation is way bigger than just messy gossip. Some are saying this might be the beginning of a serious reckoning in the music world. A moment where all the hidden skeletons, all the shady behind-the-scenes deals, all the so-called industry norms finally come crashing down.
People on social media are even comparing this to past Hollywood exposés, talking about how some of the biggest names managed to operate unchecked for years, until someone slipped. And now, they're looking at Drake like he might be the one slipping. Not just because of what Young Miami said, but because all of these scattered rumors and half-truths are finally starting to form a full picture.
And yo, it's not just fans digging now. Bloggers, journalists, and even ex-industry workers are teasing that they've been holding on to receipts, waiting for the right moment to drop everything. If that happens, we might be staring down a scandal that could shake the whole industry.
Meanwhile, some people are defending Drake, saying this is just another case of a celeb getting dragged for being too famous. That people love to twist things when it's someone on top. But others aren't buying that excuse anymore. The stories are way too similar. The patterns, way too consistent. And the most haunting part? A lot of these women still haven't spoken up publicly. Not a word. No interviews, no statements, just silence. Which has people asking, are they scared? Were they told not to speak? Or is there something much darker holding them back?
Whatever's happening, it feels like something major is about to explode.
And that's exactly why so many folks are saying Young Miami had to be in the mix with the Groupies. Because how else would she know all these details? She didn't just speak on it like an outsider. She was talking like someone who lived it. And with her history of sticking around Diddy during all that drama, a lot of people are side-eyeing her role in the whole scene. I mean, come on. She knew way too much for it to be casual knowledge.
Now look, I'm just reporting what's already out there. But let's be real. Drake been under fire nonstop for months. Some folks are saying his name needs a break from all this heat. Y'all agree or nah? Has it gone too far, or is it just karma catching up?
Still, the internet is doing what it does best, buzzing 24/7. One user even said, every episode gotta mention Drake just for views. And honestly, they might not be wrong. Whether you love him or hate him, he's basically become a headline magnet. Some even calling him the Black King of Controversy. Wild, right?
Another user threw major shade at Young Miami, saying she was getting $250,000 a month from Diddy, and probably witnessed way more than she ever admitted. Now, I ain't here for the name calling, but let's not pretend being that close to Diddy didn't come with exposure to some serious behind-the-scenes mess.
But what do you think? Is this groupie culture real? Or are people just chasing clout and clickbait? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear everything. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next deep dive. See y'all in the next one.